I'd been working 13 years to do VCE and get my ATAR. So everything that's gone on this year has been very disappointing, to say the least.
Especially for us Year 12s who are missing out on these formative Year 12 experiences like plays, formal, valedictory. And since this is our last year of school, these are experiences that we can never recover.
I think now, even more than the first lockdown, students are extremely stressed and anxious.
We want that one-on-one learning. We want that face-to-face with our teacher. Putting things into an email and asking a question that you would usually ask in 2 seconds is definitely different and difficult.
I think that it probably will affect my marks in some way because I do a lot of subjects where it is better to be in the classroom.
It's just quite hard to plan your studying, to plan what you're going to do once you leave school if you don't really know for sure if there will be exams, when those exams will be, and what will be on those exams.
Just like you would go to the extreme and get rid of all normal day interactions, do the same with the ATAR. Get rid of it.
I think that the government should be looking at possibly cancelling exams or really scaling them back because we've been under a lot of pressure this year.
I don't think it should be cancelled. I think that, whatever you're doing, VCAL, VET, VC, I think we've all worked way too hard. Yes, things are going on. Yes, it's different this year, but I think there is possible ways for us to achieve the goals we want to.
It is really genuinely a lot of pressure to put on Year 12 students who are already undergoing one of the most stressful years we'll probably ever experience. I mean, we're constantly told this is like the ultimate year, this decides your future.
It's just so sad because, Year 12 is meant to be the best year of your life. You're meant to have all these, milestone moments. And to think that, we're stuck at home and the best thing that's going to happen is, getting the ATAR, if that happens at the end, is just, pretty sad.
Many schools around us closed because they had COVID-19 cases, and you sort of got the worry that it's a matter of time, it's a roll of the dice. Is it going to happen today? Will it happen tomorrow? So moving everybody to remote learning has come at the best time and is quite welcome, that's for sure.
The emotional labour of constantly being wary of what you're touching, have your hands sanitised, have you got your temperature checked? It was a lot. On the one hand, I was so glad to be back in the classroom, but on the other hand, it was really exhausting to be there and to be constantly worrying about, are you safe? Are the kids safe? Is everyone safe and well?
Coming from Western New South Wales, I was pretty miffed when I heard the Victorian government press conference on Sunday where they said they were going to have Year 11 and 12 students in the regions also go to remote learning as to create a level playing field with metropolitan Melbourne students who are going into remote learning. And I thought, what, you're going to disadvantage a bunch of kids who are already in many ways disadvantaged to make it a level playing field with, the kids from Melbourne Grammar? I just found that actually pretty offensive, actually. Oh. We're taking the approach here in Australia now, after the first wave, of a kind of case by case. So the outbreak in Melbourne, we do things in Melbourne, and we've stepped up the lockdowns. But where there aren't cases, then they should be treated differently. So I do think that, in parts of Victoria or whatever state it might be that where there aren't cases, then schools should be treated differently. And if they can stay open, they should, because as we heard from those students, they do learn better when it's face-to-face. And particularly in the regions where technology and connectivity and all those kinds of tech disadvantages exist, that's where you've got to keep kids face-to-face as much as possible. So I think it should be differentiated, like we do with the lockdown. Some areas are in level 4 in Victoria, some are in level 3.
What do you make of this argument, Derek, which is essentially if some are being disadvantaged by what is very, very difficult to avoid, why disadvantage everyone if it can be avoided?
Yeah, look, there's two parts to that. I think in some of the outer Victorian country regions, there are very low rates, but we've seen a big spread of the virus into Horsham. I think there are now about 28 cases there, and up into the Western districts as well. So I think the government's being prudent, and it is maybe partly about the education issue of equity, but it's also still about the movement of people and making sure the virus doesn't push any further. I'm hopeful, unlike a couple of those students said, maybe it was their last day of school, I'm hopeful that we will, of course, in the next 6 weeks get back and then have a good 4-week run of school leading up to the end of the year, and that we can reinstitute some of the milestones for all of the students and have everyone face to face and overcome some of the equity issues as well.